Subjunctive and other structures for photo descriptions. Hi and welcome to 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes. Bonjour et bienvenue à 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes. Today I'm going to suggest to you some key phrases that you could use in the context of a photo description in an oral examination so that you can sound quite fluent and sophisticated and therefore you're going to impress your teacher or your examiner. Now, you might already have seen my presentation, Impress with the Subjunctive. If you haven't, do, because it already has some good suggestions. But here are some more subjunctive structures that you could be using regardless of the topic on the photo. And they're all to do with making some assumptions. Try and use some si clauses too, so that you can show off your use of the conditional tense. So things like, si la scène se passait dans un café, on penserait que si on était en Angleterre, si on était en Australie, on verrait plutôt, etc. Adding some pronouns to your sentences to make them longer is a good trick too. So try and use which, for example. In particular, the which that translates into ce qui or ce que. In fact, have a look at my presentation, what, which, that, intermediate and advanced, if you want to know a little bit more about this tricky word which. So here I've given you a few sentences where you can use ce que, ce qui. So au premier plan, on voit bla bla bla, ce qui laisse à penser que bla bla bla, etc. Now use what is called the perfect infinitive. So when you want to say after blah 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 and your after is followed by an ing verb, in French you're going to be using après avoir followed by past participle or après être followed by past participle. Après avoir fait ses devoirs, il a dû s'endormir. Peut-être qu'après être revenu de l'école, elle a fait un peu de sport. So if you know how to say after blah blah blah, you should also know how to say before blah blah blah. Okay, so before traveling by plane, we should think about our carbon print. Avant de prendre l'avion, on ferait bien de réfléchir à notre empreinte carbone. Also use what is called the present participle, which is also a verb, in fact, ending in ing in English. So if you're not quite sure how to change a verb into the present participle and when to use it, check my presentation on French en advanced, and also the one about ing verbs in French advanced. So you could say things like en mettant l'accent sur, en choisissant, en éliminant les détails, le photographe attire notre attention sur. When you come to the last part of your description, that is your interpretation of what you can see, try starting your sentence with an infinitive verb. So, for instance, sortir, s'amuser avec ses amis, quoi de plus courant, quoi de plus normal. Manger des hamburgers tout le temps, ce n'est pas bon pour la santé. Avoir de bons amis est important. Aller au musée tous les dimanches, non merci. Now, I've shown you how to use some sophisticated structures when you describe photos, but try and use them when you're writing in French too. They will enhance your texts and dazzle your teachers, your examiner, your friends. And if you want more advice on how to sound really sophisticated, whether you're speaking or writing, look at my definitive guide to dazzling.